So the recording has been started. Okay, and let's start our class formally. And till the last class, we solved question number 1, part A, and we were solving the question number 1, part B, and we solved the requirement A or the part 1 of that requirement, which was regarding the benefits or how the technological advancement could uh, enable the growth for the PVS. And today we are going to solve the remaining part of the requirement, which was here. Let me go above and make you see the requirement so that we can start. Yes, here it is. It is now. Okay. So it was the second part, the drawbacks for PVS, including the ethical issues, okay, of adopting such technological development. Okay, so for this requirement as well, we will be referring to the exhibit number 2, and again it's a very general requirement. It is asking us that what could be the drawbacks. So the drawbacks, most of them would be like very general kind of, okay, which exist in every organization whenever they go for the technological advancement. If you are very clear with the technological advancement concept, if you know about the pros and cons and the nitty-gritties of the technological advancement, then you would be able to come across or come up with the drawbacks. But the important thing in it is that number one, you have to follow the slide format, which is very easy. And the other thing is that you have to also link it with the ethical stance wherever possible. It is stretching and it is breaking. Okay, let me check if there is there anyone else who is having the same issue? Can you guys please confirm me? Is there anyone else? Saud is saying no, it's fine. Everyone is saying no, it's fine. Harshi, can you please check on your end that if there is any internet issue or not? Because everyone is saying that it's fine. So let me know whatever it is. Okay, Harshi. So you have to link it with the ethical issues as well wherever it is possible. Okay. So let us go to the exhibit and see if we can have any other point related to the technological advancement from here. I'm just clearing it out, the exhibit, so that we can look at the rest of the things in a very clear manner, because it has been very messy now. Because yesterday we did too much annotation on it, didn't hear anything. Hashi, please try to rejoin the class and see if it is resolved or not, because everyone is saying it's fine. So maybe it's not from the my end. All right, so here we have the impacts on the medicine, right? For the impact on the medicine, we were told that the smart collars harness one, it captures the vital statistics such as heart rate and so help to keep the track of the pet health on a continuous basis. These devices can also help to improve diagnosis and result in better, quicker and more accurate treatment. New technology also facilitates simple surgery which significantly reduces recovery time for pets and improves outcome. 3D printing can create perfectly tailored customized bone and prosthetics for pets. AI powered technology can learn what is normal and abnormal and can be used to analyze laboratory results significantly more quickly and at least as accurately as human. So I cannot see more than one issue here right now from the exhibit. Okay, and I hope that you guys also have noticed it, and we will discuss obviously. Impact on the communication with the client. Cloud-based integrated business management software offers online booking for the clients and send follow-up reminders. So it is cloud-based integrated business something. Okay, so telehealth via smartphones enable veterinarians to provide from any location. Clients can upload photos, videos of their pet, which allows veterinarian to make straightforward diagnosis and recommend appropriate treatment. Digital marketing can improve level of client protection, engagement, and loyalty. Okay. Business management software. Here I'm reading here. Newer business management software also scheduled consultation, shows patients records and captures, stores diagnostic images. It allows veterinarians to access and analyze data on site and off site and gives them direct access to the test result from laboratory. It can also order and track retail medicine inventory, invoice clients, and major monitor clinic efficiency and profits. So one of the drawbacks. Okay, so now this is a very common issue with all the students, that they always stuck in the requirement. They do not understand the requirement properly. So because the requirement states that the drawbacks, okay, it doesn't mean that you are going to only mention the drawbacks, because using the technology, it's most of the time it's going to be the benefits. There are very minimal drawbacks, but there has to be some precautions. There has to be some challenges, right? These can be, converted into drawbacks thing, or they can be also mentioned in the requirement as well, that if you are going to do the technological advancement, don't you think that, okay, let me just first ask you guys, what do you think would be the drawbacks? See, precautions from the precaution angle, from the challenges angle. Suggest me at least how many. Let us go and see. It was the 20 marks question, and I said that 10 marks for each slide. So I need you to write down 5 drawbacks. Only one liner. I need one liner, just the headings. Cost will increase. Shabnam, cost will increase. I guess the technology will make you efficient. So we have Harshi, we have Saud, we have Shoaib. Pooja has also joined, I guess. No, she is yet to join. Sneha, we have Vinsha. Guys, I need you to come up with the drawbacks. Increase in reputation. Saud, it's a benefit. It's not a drawback. And we have just mentioned it in the yesterday class in the benefits. I need the drawbacks, because they have asked us that you should mention the drawbacks and try to link it with the ethical stance wherever possible. So just forget about the ethical thing. We will discuss it later. I need you to think about the drawbacks. It's okay, Saud. Pooja has joined now. Data breach, breach of data confidentiality. Good points, both Sneha and Shweb. So guys, now try to think more. Try to think more. Sneha and Shoaib, there is something more connected to this one point. If you are storing the data, can there be not you all use technology? What do you mean by Saud? What do you mean by this? Sneha and Shoaib, what do you think? Won't there be any regulatory or legal requirement on you? Data confidentiality and breach is something which is related to the protection of the data. What about the storing of data and usage of data? So, Saud, you are saying that we do not have the prior experience of using the technology. Number 2, data security concerns would be there. Number 3, laws and regulation. Number 4, excellent shape. Excellent, Sneha. Lucas is saying compliance with data protection regulation, good. Possible exclusion of patient population due to digital divide. Yes. There could be some patients. There could be some patients who are not that tech savvy, or who are not using the technology. Don't you think that these patients, or that segment, that is the aged, those who are not using the technology, they could be left out? Excellent point, Lucas. Cloud-based Good points, Shweb. Dependency on internet connectivity. See, now you are thinking that practically, if you would go to the technology, what would be the scenario? Then you will come up with the more points. Shoaib is saying high investment installation of either the software or physical equipment would require finance as well, right? Yes, Chapman, bilkul, absolutely correct. Maintenance cost, ransomware attacks. This is related to the data security, hacking attacks and ransomware attacks. Yes, on internet. Number six, high investment. Number seven, yes. High investment will include the staff training and other cost. High maintenance again included in the high investment. Okay, so we have come up with these six very good points, and we needed only 5 points, right? So now let us go and start drafting our answer. If there is anyone else who has any other point, or we can move. Okay, now guys, from these points, while we will draft it, I need you guys to think about if there is any ethical link into them as well, right? For the, I can think that if you are going to use that technology, don't you think that the processes would be automated, processes would be efficient, and many of the employees will be made redundant, their jobs would be ended or removed, staff redundancy. So don't you think that it would have a impact on the society as the unemployment would increase? See, I am not saying that don't go for the technological advancement. It's a bad thing, but there is the fact that there would be staff redundancies as well. You don't need to become emotional, or you don't need to think in one way that no, sir, the technological advancement is always good. It has the benefits. So what if we are going to technology? We are meant to do the cost efficiencies, cost cutting. Okay, it's all fine. But the other angle is that there would be staff redundancies and you have to think about it. That's it. You don't need to think that I can go with either thing. Yes, from the business perspective, when you are making a decision, obviously you will go with one option. But at the time of evaluation, at the time of thinking, you have to think about both of the things, right? So when you are thinking about your answer as well, when you're thinking about the benefits, think about the benefits. When you're thinking about the drawbacks, think about them. Do not uh, get yourself or make or get confused that I have to go with either of the thing, right? So there is one thing. What about the storage of personal data? If it is hacked, if it is leaked, don't you think there would be the ethical implication on you as well, that you did not stored or protected the personal data with the due diligence or due care? Hmm? See how now I am trying to link these points with the ethical instance wherever it is possible. Because in question it also said me that if where ethical implication arises, right? So no prior experience, we have data protection, I would say data security risk, legal compliance risk, and what do we have else? We have um, exclusion of non of segment not available on digital media. But was there any related to the digital media or technology? Anyways, we can somehow explain this thing. High dependency on internet, high investment and what staff redundancy. So now what do we need to do? We have prepared a slide, but in requirement, it was also mentioned that you have to give the accompanying notes. And whether or not they ask us to do in slide, we always have to give the accompanying notes for the speaker. So the accompanying notes, these are going to be read out by the CEO in the next board meeting. So now, guys, can I have the drafted point for the first point? Drafted paragraph for the first point, no experience. I'm drafting my answer and I need you guys to draft your answer as well. Okay, fine, Shoaib. So if I go to the exhibit number 1, it was something mentioned about the technological advancement, if I can recall it correctly. Yes, see here. Can you guys see my screen? So the chief medical officer, he's saying that we have been missing this thing of the technological advancement or innovation since many times or many years. So we are missing this thing as well, and we have been not involved in it, and we do not have the prior experience of it as well. So it would be a challenging thing for us as well. So PVS has not done innovation or okay. So have you guys drafted the answer? I have not received any of the point in the chat. Good point, Hera. Good point. Prior experience. PVS do not have any prior experience with the technological aspect, and sudden change would mean that you will need to require expertise to innovate, which will lead to higher risk and loss of investment. Good point, Sneha. Good point. So now see, you guys are coming up with the point along with the rationale or the reason. That is impressive. So this is the same which I have drafted, that PVS has not done innovation or technological advancement in recent year and has no prior experience or expertise in this regard. Therefore, it creates the high risk and challenge for PVS to plan and implement the technological advancement. All right. So now let's move ahead, and I need you guys to now draft the point for the data security risk. I'm giving you the starting point, that how you can start it. See, you will go to the exhibit. In exhibit, you can use these words, that smart collars and harness would capture vital statistics about the clients and their pets. Cloud integrated business management software will store the data on the cloud. Okay, and the photos and videos of the pets, also they will record and capture the diagnostic images of the pet. These things from the exhibit you will capture, and you will copy and paste into your answer, that these will be stored. And the later part, now you need to draft that how it is a challenge. If it is being stored, if the personal data is being stored, there is nothing wrong in it. It's just a fact. Now you have to explain that how it is a challenge. What is the issue in it? What is the challenge in it? Now you go. So I'm not going to the answer page and keeping the exhibit open for you guys so that you can start your answer. And not to be offensive, and if I would ask you guys that what was the result of the SBL this attempt, like how much was the passing percentage? Have anyone checked it? Shabnam, Pooja, Vinsha, Sneha, Hershey, Lucas, did you guys check what was the passing percentage? It was around 52 51. Yes, 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 Sneha. You know, as it's a fact that everyone who gives the exam doesn't pass, right? This is how the same that everyone joins the class does not draft. So those who are not drafting, believe me, it will cost you. I'm not demotivating you. If you are feeling afraid or scared by these words, it is good thing that you are scared now and you start drafting. So those who are not drafting, believe me, you are making a huge mistake. And also this 51%, please be aware that it includes the students whose native language is English. If I remove them, this result will drop down to around 25 or 30%. This is a very alarming thing, and it is a reminder for us to that we have to draft. We have to start drafting. Yes, Harshi, for sure I will. But for today's class, aren't you going to continue? Is there anyone else who is having the same audio issue, or is it with Harshi? Because if you all are facing this, then let me check my internet. No issues, no issues. Okay. Vinsha, right now your point is good. Okay, but you can make it better by including the terminologies or the words from the exhibit so that it becomes linked with it. That is why I have highlighted these, captures the vital statistics of the patient, right? Cloud-based integrated. So if you would include these terminologies or these words into your answer, then it will make it link with the scenario. Okay. Rest, the point is good, but you need to improve this in this regard. Pooja, I will read your answer. Just let me draft my one. All right. So now let me read your answers. Pooja is saying personal and commercial information are more likely to get hacked considering PVS does not have advanced technology. This gives rise to high data security risk. This will lead to legal fines by affected customers and affect the reputation of the PVS. Pooja, again, your starting is very good. You have used the word of personal data because the personal thing, that is the buzzword here. Because if it is not personal data, we are not worried about it. Since it's a personal data, then it arises a risk, right? So there are likely chances of data breach, leakage, hacking, these all kind of issues, right? You can include them into your answer as well. The rest of your answer is good. You have also come up with the impacts on the business as well. That's a good thing. Data security risk, copy paste from the exhibit. Okay, so smart work from Sneha. Collecting the data of the client would mean that it leads to higher data breach and hacking risk. Sneha, it is a risk. It is not going to happen always, right? So hacking risk, and the customer will need to trust PVS first to upload their personal data, and so PVS will require to assure the customer about the security in order to increase their trust. If not done, this will lead to serious damage to the company. Excellent, Sneha. So far, the best answer. Pooja and Vinsha, did you guys get what was the issue in your answer? Since the consultation and appointment take place via portals, there could be a possibility that customer patient bank details could be stored, which would require high security. Shabnam, why only the bank details? Their pictures, their diagnosis result. For example, if I'm going to get my blood tested, what do you guys think? Would I be happy to share it with my colleagues, my friend, my all family members, the results? I don't think so. I would not like to share it with others unnecessarily. So this is something confidential, right? So don't go to the specific thing. Try to put the pick the word from the exhibit, right? So okay, so far so good. Okay, great. The legal compliance risk. Now the legal compliance, how does it comes into the game? You are storing the data. Whenever you store data, the two risk comes ultimately or automatically. The data security risk and the legal compliances, that you are storing someone personal data. Have you obtained the permission? Who has the ownership of the data? Who can direct the use of the data, right? Can you share this data with someone? I don't know. So these kind of question, they are always the issue for the organization who is storing the personal data, and for that there are always regulation and laws which regulate these kind of matters, right? So you have to comply with them and you have to take take care that if you are not doing any non-compliance, because these kind of non-compliance can have a severe impact on your profitability because of the fine, right? On your reputation, and sometimes these kind of legal non-compliances can lead to the winding up of the business as well, right? So this was the discussion from my side. Now I need you to draft the point for me, and in the meantime I am drafting the answer as well. So we have, guys, see, I am reading and reviewing all the drafted answer, and I really appreciate if the other people would draft it as well. Again, I'm saying 100% people attempt the paper, but only 50% are getting passed. So 100% people are attending the class, and unfortunately, those who are not drafting, they are carrying a big risk. And if you guys are having any issue and you want to discuss, you can also request me to unmute yourself, right? There is this option as well. All right, so I've drafted my answer, and let me read yours one. SPS is storing their patients and clients data without their no, Hira, there is nowhere mentioned that they are storing this data without permission. We are not going to make this assumption, right? It's a very aggressive one. So this thing, I believe you got confused somehow, but this is not the case, which lead to the serious legal compliance risk, which could lead to revenue loss due to fines, penalties, and also cause going concern issues for PVS. So the point is good, but there are a few issues in it. The number one, it is not confirmed that PVS is storing without permission. Number two thing is that if you are saying that they are storing without the permission, then there is not a risk of non-compliance. It is a non-compliance. Okay. And the other thing is that you have written loss of revenue. It's not a loss of revenue, it's a loss of profits. Okay, because you are having the fines and penalties, it will impact your profitability. Yes, you can make it or connect it with the revenue in such a way that you will lose your reputation, you will lose your trust, and ultimately your customers will move away from you, and then ultimately you will lose the revenue. But you have to explain it. So right now, if you are going to mention only fines and penalties, that it is related to the profitability. Okay, Hira, is it clear? See, now when you are drafting, you are coming to know what mistakes you are making. And I don't want any of you to make these mistakes in the exam and then check it in the next attempt. Is there anyone who is drafting? I'm waiting for your answer, or I can move now. The storing the client and patient personal data confidential are prone to the data leakage through hacking and virus, which result in data breach and confidentiality, which can result in the client making legal cases against the PVS, which will result in possible payments and fine and penalty, loss of reputation. Good point, Shoaib. Perfect, no issues in it. Just you have to mention the compliances with the laws and regulations. This is related to the data breach, okay, and which is more suitable in the point above, which we just discussed. Now we are discussing about the compliance thing, okay. So the point is correct, but it is related to the above one. Okay. So is there anyone else drafting? I'm waiting for them, so we can move now. Legal compliance, PVS will require to follow the regulation related to collecting and storing the personal data, and non-compliance of the regulation will lead to penalties, and the customer confidence would reduce, which would affect the company adversely. Company brand, company reputation. Sneha, you have to mention these two words. The business leader is always concerned about the brand and the reputation. And you have not mentioned the risk of non-compliance. The risk of non-compliance. Okay, where you have just mentioned the storing the personal data, you could add and it increases the risk of non-compliance. Pooja is saying storing personal and confidential data required effective cloud storage in place. Failure to do can lead high compliance risk. Failure to do can lead to high compliance risk. Failure is a non-compliance simply, as there is high risk that those personal information can be used by unauthorized person without permission. This will affect the confidentiality of the client, and client won't be able to trust PVS again. This can attract legal penalty and can affect profitability. Pooja, what you have done, you have mixed 2 points, right? You have mixed the data security or data breach thing with the non-compliance thing. These are two separate things, and I have always been advising you people, and obviously these practice sessions are meant to advise you or meant to remove your weaknesses, that always keep things separate, and only then you can deliver a good point, because in your point things are too much coming from somehow from data security, data breach, unauthorized access, legal fine, penalties, reputation, trust, everything is just mixed up. So now when examiner reads it, it doesn't get what you are trying to say, what is your objective of writing this point. So when you are drafting any point, have a clear understanding in the mind that what you are going to convey. In our point right now, we are talking about the non-compliance with the laws and regulation. So you have to just keep it in mind that you are storing the data, and while you are since you are storing the data, there are some laws and regulation which are now applicable to you, and there is a risk that you might not be complying with them, and when you will not comply, you will be you will be facing the fines and penalties. Simple. See how very organically or very in a very structured way I started from where, from the point that we are storing the data. Laws are applicable on me. There is a risk that I would not comply with them. Fines and penalty would come. It will affect my reputation, brand, and profitability. Simple. Okay, no issues. Sir, can you please show which part in the exhibit talk about this issue? No part in the exhibit talk about this issue. This is a very common, or the I would say very common sense thing, that whenever you store the data, there are two risks. If it is written in the exhibit, then why the examiner would give us the marks? This was supposed to be coming up from the students, that they would come up with what are the drawbacks or what could be the challenges in the technological advancement. Okay. So the other point is exclusion of the segment non-available on social media. This point in itself is a very explanatory point, but I need you guys to draft in 2 lines or 1 or 2 lines mentioning few facts about the age or the nature of the people who are more aged, which do not use the technology. They could be, missed out if we are going to the latest technology, the for scheduling the appointments and the follow-ups and these kind of things, we could miss them, right? So now you have to draft the point for this. I'm drafting my answer and waiting for yours one. Those who are not looking at the screen right now while typing, please stop for a moment and see. I've highlighted something for you guys to be included in your answer. How you are communicating with your clients. Those who are not very used to of the technology, you would not be able to communicate with them, right? If you are going towards this thing. All right, I've written my point and you're not allowed to see it. Let me hide it. Although majority of the client belong to young and middle age group, there may be several clients who do not find themselves up to date with the technological advancement and would find it difficult to deal with the software for online booking as well as taking follow-ups. Excellent point, Shabnam. Good. Perfect point. You can use it in your answer. Lucas, Hira, Pooja, Sneha, Vinsha, Sneha. The youngster use the technology, and PVS currently have those customers who are not used to the advanced technology. Though it would help you to attract younger customers, there are greater risks that you could lose your current potential customers. This would reduce the overall customer base of PVS. Good point, good point. But try to use the word of the market segment, because these kind of concepts, they put the good impression on the examiner that the person is using these terminologies, the market segment or the segment which does not use the um, internet or technology. Overall, good point. Not everyone use the internet as and available on social media, hence it is not useful to them. Also, 40% of the client are above 35%, 35-year age, do not have the hands-on internet technology, Mhm. may find it difficult to communicate with PVS for online booking and follow-ups and reminder, etc. But Pooja, what will happen if they are not able to do this? This thing is missing in your answer. If they are not able to communicate with me, let them not communicate with me. Why I'm concerned? As PVS, what will happen to me? I'm not bothered about it. Am I or not? Lucas saying, depend on the existing digital divide, a substantial segment of the market could have limited access to the technology and as a result could be excluded from the health services. This exclusion rate could result in more problems in the market community, which may affect the brand reputation acceptance of the community service by the market community. Lucas, I don't know, like how it is related to the brand reputation, and somehow you can say obviously the acceptance of the client, it is good thing, but um, could, the market could have limited access to, the first line is perfect, correct. The other thing about the brand reputation, I feel like it is not that appropriate or relevant, right? If you have any other reason, you can explain me in the chat and we can have a discussion. PVS is going towards the technological advance using the cloud-based integrated software to connect with the client and booking appointments, so they will lose the revenue for those customers which are not using the technology. Good point, Hira. Good point. All right. So now let's move ahead. High dependency on the internet. High dependency on the internet. Let me just show you why I have written this point. Here comes the reason. Allows veterinarians to access and analyze data on the on-site and off-site direct result. Okay. It can also order and track the medicine, inventory, client details. And the other thing is that online booking. Let me just clear it a bit. Online booking, virtual consultation, digital marketing. These all things. Can you do it without internet? Can you guys do these all things without internet? I don't think so. This is the point. Simply, you have to mention these all things, that technological advancement would include this, and these are completely dependent on the internet. Then, therefore, the PVS would have the high dependency on the internet. And the other thing is that if you are storing your data on the cloud and if you are not having the access to the internet, can you operate? Can you operate? No. This simple discussion which I am doing with you, you have to just draft this thing. Very simple it is, but again, since we are not used to of writing the answer, we are not used to of English, it becomes difficult for us. So please draft it. I am not going to the screen, staying here for you to see the points from here and include it in your answer. Or if not, then you can at least draft the later part of the answer, like leaving this thing. Since many people use internet regularly and there are still people who do not use regularly or not familiar, there are still places where internet is not stable and cannot smoothly. This means focus on instead of use internet regularly, trying to get more attached to the pet some customer. But Saud, the thing is that if they are not having the internet issue, they are having the fraud, physical presence issues, why I am bothered? Why I am bothered? And it is the, I guess, previous point, right? It's not the current point drafting. Not the, yes. So Saud, the thing missing in your answer is that how it is, concern for me. I will lose those customers. So you have to mention this thing. Okay. Sorry guys, I was just responding to our principal of IQ School of Finance. He was discussing about the students who scored the gold medals. Alhamdulillah, IQ School of Finance scored 5 gold medals in the CA final result. So we're discussing something related to it. Good point, Saud. Good point. Guys, are you coming up with the points or not? See, the thing is that if I was supposed to draft this point, I would have drafted it by now. But again, since you guys are learning this thing, you are students, it takes time, but you have to improve your efficiency. You have to reduce the time so that you can attempt the full or maximum paper. Vinsha point is not well explained. Like people are above 35 age, it is difficult to reach them. Also, reserve places as not internet stable internet. What will happen what will happen to us? You have forgot or you have missed to mention the loss of revenue or the segment. PVS is highly dependent on internal technologies. Problem in internet connectivity can lead to the business disruption, loss of revenue, and loss of confidential information as well. Yes, good point, good point. But Pooja, again, this is not connected to, somehow you have to connect it with the exhibit information or exhibit wordings as well. If you would just include these points from the exhibit, then your answer would be much better. As beneficial as it go ahead with the advancement in technology, it comes with a con of high dependency on the internet, as majority of the work requires internet to be available and at a good speed in order to have a smooth flow of online booking, flow ups, follow-ups, tracking of medicine inventory and everything. Good point, Shabnam. Good point. Just include the things from the exhibit in explaining how it is, linked with the online things. And also mention that you are using a cloud-based software. So cloud-based software needs the all-time connectivity of internet. Otherwise, you cannot have a connection with it. Okay. So this thing is missing in all of your answer, the cloud-based things. And why you are missing it? Because you guys are not using the words from the exhibits. Hira is saying PVS is highly dependent on internet. Right now, PVS is not highly dependent on the internet, Hira. They are saying that if we go to the technological advancement, then it will be like this. Okay. For digital marketing, appointment booking, tracking inventory, record capture, and store diagnostic images of the patient. Cloud-based management software word missing, Hira. So this will be that difficult for those who are not familiar with the internet, and some customer have trust issues with them. So because of this dependency, PVS lost customer. No, Hira, no. This point you connected with the previous point related to the non used to of internet. Now we are talking about our dependency on internet to access or use these all technology. Lucas is saying there is a high risk of operational disruption. Good start. Good start of internet connectivity become unstable because most of the previous key business processes will become heavily dependent on the internet availability and stability of the line. The process at risk are such as online booking. Excellent, excellent, excellent. But Lucas, the one only the one format issue, but the point is absolutely correct that you have made the bullets. You don't need to make it a bullet, like you have to just make it one point because these are the speaker notes. Otherwise, the point is good. All right. So now moving forward, I'm not wasting time on drafting it again. Let us try to cover as much as we can. So the high investment. This is the point. Very easy one. High investment. Good shape. Good point. Good point. But try to cover all the aspect. It is only related to the cloud-based things. The online booking you have included, the storage of the data, accessing the images, videos, and the diagnosis result of the pets. This thing is missing in your answer. Okay. So I will draft this later and will share the answer with you. Okay. I'm highlighting it. Good, Pooja. Good point. You have covered everything. Excellent. Good point, Sneha. Good point. Hira, if you are not having the prior experience and you are making the high investment, there is no point of cash flow problem. Financial risk would arise, but cash flow problem, it's even if you are having the experience, you will have the cash flow problem if you are supposed to have. And also there will be a challenge will who will PVS arrange this amount if it will go with debt financer this so cost interaction. Good point. Good point. There has to be the decision that how they will finance this through equity or through that. And if they are going to finance it through the debt, then they have to give the good results to the bank. And right now, from the recent years, they are having a problem in their results, right? And also they would have to bear their interest expense. Good. Just need to make it a bit structured and few adjustment as I just mentioned. So how I have drafted that the technological advancement requires high investment in advanced software, hardware, infrastructure, establishing the IT department for support and training the users. I have explained how it is a huge investment. Okay. Then There would be a big challenge for PVS to raise the finance required for this advancement through either equity or debt, as financial results are as its results are deteriorating since past few years, right? So this is how I have drafted. Pooja is saying investment in technology such as one-time hardware costs, good software integration costs require huge funds. PVS is unlisted and all equity finance and would be difficult to raise finance via IPO. Also, the revenue is falling since 3 years, making it difficult to go for company to invest in the technology and can affect the working capital and cash flow of the PVS. Good, Pooja. Good point. All right. So now we have the staff redundancy point. Those who are drafting, please do draft and complete your answer. I will read them. Okay. No need to skip it. I am drafting the staff redundancy point in the meantime. Yes, Shabnam, this is the fact which you have mentioned, but what is the problem in it? The problem thing is missing. Okay, great, Vinsha. You have already drafted the staff redundancy point as well. I will read it to operationalize the cloud. Good point, Lucas. Good point. Okay, so the staff redundancy point, what Vinsha is due to staff shift in technology. There is no, you don't need to write there is, you have to write there will be no need of human presence. No, not no need, there will be minimum or reduced. Hence, due to the automation of the replacing manual roles, there is impact. Vinsha, well-being, I do not think if it is related to their well-being as well or not, but you can further explain it and link it with the society or the ethical impact. And but so far the answer is not good, but it's not, it's somehow the average answer, but not bad. Like, okay, so do you guys remember one thing that there was one union as well regarding the employees? What do you guys think if I'm going to make many staff or employees redundant? Don't you think that this union would react? Hmm? Let me go to the pre-scene and show you guys the union thing. It was near the CCVP or PPC, something like this. Yes, here. This is what I'm talking about. Ireland Vet Union. So if I'm going to make them redundant, don't you think that I would be facing the pressure or the reaction from this union? How long should we need to write point, like 2 3 line will be enough or not? Um, like Hira, I would say if it is around 2 to 3 line or 4 line, it is enough. But you have to make sure that you are conveying your point very sufficiently. You are making it everything clear. And somehow, if you are just mentioning your point and not explaining it or not supporting in that, I'm afraid that examiner would not give you the full marks. Okay, so now let me read the points. The technological advancement, e.g., the cloud-based system, high initial investment in software, hardware, and moreover, it will have a result in maintenance costs. It is cost which in result. Shoaib has gone to the poor gearing ratio and other thing, but Shoaib, do you know that what is the benchmark or the standard gearing ratio of the industry? No, you do not. So how can you say it will go to the poor gearing ratio? Right now it is all equity finance. So I'm afraid that it is not a correct point, right, Shweb? So you have to mention that they will face a difficulty in raising the finance. They will have a financial risk by making the huge investment, right? Hira is saying as previous thinking to move toward staff redundancy costs. Excellent, Hira. But don't you think it would be a bit more better? Like it would be additional thing that if you would include the ethical thing as well into it, because we were requested in the requirement that you have to link the ethical implication if there are any. Okay. Sneha is saying moving towards the greatly create an adverse effect on the company. No, Sneha explained a bit more that it will lead to the operational disruption. It will lead to the demotivation of the staff. It will lead to the opposite reaction from the Ireland vet union. Possible strikes, possible boycott could happen, and it will result in the loss of revenues and the profitability of the company. Otherwise, the point is good. Lucas, this is not a proper point. Please draft it in a proper way. Shabnam, it would be better that if you explain it how the technology will make it less requirement of the job on job employees, right? By having the technology, it is not necessary that it will lead to the loss of or less need of the employees, right? So you have to explain it a bit. As societal pressure would come out as negative. Not very clear or not very good drafting, Shabnam, this time. You have to explain it a bit more that how it is linked with the society. It will increase the unemployability ratio. Pooja is saying will improve performance but staff redundancy. Okay, it's fine if you guys are just linking it with the redundancy directly. They are already part of the union, Pooja, number one thing. And the other thing is that the excellent reputation, and the other thing is that um like why we are thinking that we will fire those staff which are actually required or which are necessary even though we are using the technology. I do not get the point. I just mentioned that we will be firing staff who are doing the manual jobs, who are doing the jobs which would be replaced by the technology. So the staff who are dealing with the clients, who are using the technology, the experts, they would be there. They are not going to leave us. Yes, you can say that being a part of vet union, they might boycott us and they would leave PVS on their own, that we are doing some ethical thing. We are making other people unemployed, so they are leaving us as well. Okay, Pooja, is it clear now? So what I have drafted, I have drafted the technological advancement will result in the processes automation through using the devices to diagnose the pets and facilitate the treatment, and will result in the redundancy of the staff who are assigned on manual roles related to these matters, and also for the booking of appointment and sending the follow-ups. These things were would be previously done by the employees, and now it would be done by the softwares. This is unethical as it will have the impact on the society in the form of increasing the employment ratio. Further, PVS will face the opposing response, possible strike, boycott from the Ireland Vet Union and its member, which will lead to a disruption of the operation and loss of the revenues and profits. Okay. Possible staff redundancy as technology covers their work, which can, yes, good. Now, Shoaib, the thing which you have mentioned, that the technology will cover their work. This is making it complete. Can affect the reputation of the PVS brand, as pet trade unions may organize strike against PVS, which will result in business disruption and also result in loss of revenue. Ethical thing is missing in it. It would get better if you would add the ethical touch into it. All right. So the ethical touch could be here as well in the here personal data, right? So you can make it the ethical angle as well, that if you are misusing the data, if you're not protecting it properly, if you are leaking it, then it is unethical thing that you are not safeguarding the personal data of your clients or patients. Okay. So now what do we have? Now it's complete. So the answer is complete. If anyone has any other issue, please ask, or we can move to the next question. Are we good? Good point. Now, Lucas, it's a good point. Excellent. So now, do we have any other issue, or everyone is clear? So we can move to the next question. Clear. Next question. Okay. As you say, Hira. See, because for me it is also easy that I will draft the answer and move to the next question. It's now taking my time as well, and I have to read all the question. And the purpose of this class is that we do the practice of drafting and give you the reviews on it. So let's make the most out of it. And here we have the question number 2. At the last board meeting, the Human Resource Director proposed that PVS strategic direction should move from being profit focused to being socially responsible. For those students who were not there in the last class, let me just brief you about it. That in exhibit number 1, there was a human resource director. He was saying that we should not focus on profit. We should rather focus on the charity, the well-being of the pets, and we should promote these kind of activities. Okay, so yes, here they are also saying the same thing. He believed that the corporate social responsibility strategy would achieve growth due to the positive impact it would have on PVS key stakeholders. He has asked for your help in preparing for the next board meeting and has directed you to the CSR section of the Pet Vet Journal article. So he's saying that go and look at the CSR section in the Pet Vet Journal article and come up with me to prepare something to be presented in the next board of director meeting. Okay, he's asking you to prepare the briefing notes for who? For him, the HR director, which assesses how CSR strategy could impact on each of the PVS key stakeholders. Okay, where appropriate, how this would enable the growth in the market share. Okay, so he's saying that first assess that how CSR would have the impact on the stakeholders. Okay, and also if there is any angle that is going to be linked with the growth in our market share, that the CSR activity will increase our market share, also please tell me this as well, that how it will do. All right, Biago, in the coming weekends, right now we have not done Hira Biago question, so it is 20 marks question. Professional marks are for commercial acumen skill. Obviously the commercial acumen skill, they are related to two things: the profits and the stakeholder management. So this question ultimately deals with these two things. So that means it's a 20-mark question, and 20 marks, if I divide it by 2, that means the 10 good points would be more than sufficient for this answer. All right, so now I need you guys to first tell me the key stakeholders. In one single message, I need you to mention at least 5 key stakeholders of the PVS. Hira, did you get the answer of your question? Okay, you have mentioned. Okay, so now I need you to mention 5 key stakeholders. Shabnam, not like this. I need one single message, all 5 stakeholders: directors, employees, supplier, customers, shareholders. Good. What about the bank? What about the government? Local community. Customer, employees, supplier, board, shareholders. Government, customer, supplier, society. Good. Sneha, good. Hira, why only 4? Trade union, customer, shareholder, director, employees, bank, regulator. Lucas, good. So we have Shabnam, client, shareholder, employee, supplier, financial institution. Good, 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 everyone. So now let us go and read the CSR section of the journal which we were mentioning here. So here, corporate social responsibility, which I deliberately told you that we are not referring it for the question number 1 part B. It is because it was referred in the question number 2 part A. And obviously you would come to know that in question number 1 part B there was no discussion regarding the CSR. So here we go. There is a growing public interest on how business treat their staff. Okay, let me highlight this thing. How they interact with the society and their environmental impact. Recent research shows that 70% of the consumer in Ireland wants to know the brands they are supporting address social environmental issues. So again, this is a important thing that 70% of the consumer, they want to know that uh, the brand they are supporting, whether or not they care about the society or not. According to some research, employees look for and are more engaged and perform better for the socially responsible business. Implementing CSR can cut staff turnover by 35% and increase productivity by 35%. Believe me, this is the uh, I have no words to have the praise for this section. Like, this is telling me the answer by itself. While there are costs associated with the CSR and the consumer are becoming more aware of greenwashing, CSR has been shown to create significant value and benefits to the bottom line. What do we mean by greenwashing? Does anyone have any idea about the greenwashing? Do you guys have any idea about the greenwashing? Yes or no? No. It's fine if you do not know about it. Misleading. Good, good, Vinsha. Good. It is about showing yourself more green than you actually are, like misleading people. Okay, so they are saying that although there are associate cost and consumer are becoming more aware about the greenwashing, still the CSR is having the significant value and benefit in the bottom line. Bottom line means your profit after tax, right? So they're saying that these all are happening, but still the customer are supporting the greener companies. All right. So now let me go up and show you the extract of the human director discussion as well, so that you can have the idea about what he was saying for this thing. In exhibit number 1, as I said, there was some discussion related to CSR. I think we should change our strategic direction from being profit oriented to being more socially responsible. We would still achieve the growth but also benefit our stakeholders. For example, we could focus on staff health and well-being or support local animal charities. Due to the rise in the pet numbers over the recent year, we could visit schools to educate children on how to look after their pets. These activities would have a positive impact on the way in which our brand is perceived, and it may also help us to achieve the higher level SPP accreditation. All right. So there is something related to our CCVP regulator who regulates this industry, right? So this is also our stakeholder, key stakeholder. All right. So now let us go and start drafting our answer, and then I will ask you guys about the drafting. Briefing notes. So the format of the briefing notes is to, from, subject, date. Guys, can I have the subject? Can I please have the subject? Are you guys giving me the subject? Impact of CSR on key stakeholder. Excellent, Sneha. See, it's very simple. How are we going to draft our introduction paragraph? Please, I need the guidance from you guys. How we are going to start our or draft our introduction paragraph? Sneha, Vinsha, from requirement. So we will start like this. This briefing notes. Now we will go to requirement here and question number 2 here. Prepare briefing note for HR director, which after this, which we will copy and paste, because we will do what we will do in the briefing notes. We will do whatever it has been asked in the requirement. So that is what we are going to draft in our introduction paragraph. Let me just do the formatting things. These briefing notes assesses how a corporate social responsibility strategy could impact on each PVS key stakeholder, and where appropriate, how this would enable growth in the market share of PVS. It's not necessary, I'm just making it. Okay. So now one by one, we will talk about first our customers. They are obviously our key stakeholder, customers or the clients. So how it will have the impact on the customers? How it will have the impact on the customer? Let me go to the exhibit and now you guys can tell me how it will have the impact on our customers. Don't you think that here as it is written that 70% of the 70% of the consumer in the Ireland wants to know the brand they are supporting and address the social and environmental issues. So if you are doing CSR activities, don't you think that you will be getting the support from your customers? Yes. So that is what we are going to write in our answer. 70%. We will start whenever it is possible. We will start our answer from the exhibit. The 70% of the consumer in Ireland wants to know the brand they are supporting addresses social and environment addresses social and environmental issues. So by implementing CSR, PVS can attract the customer preference and can have the competitive edge on its competitor in the eyes of customers. This will result in the increase of market share as those customers who value the CSR activities done by the PVS will support you. Is there any issue in this answer? Do you guys getting how I have drafted this point? If you guys have the idea about the CSR and the benefits of the CSR activities, then you would be able to draft this. Is there anyone who do not have any idea about the CSR activities or the benefits of the CSR? Please let me know so that I can give you a brief overview so that you can, participate in the answer. Is there anyone who do not have the idea about the CSR? Okay, so there's no one. The other thing, what else do we have? What else? We have our employees. We have the employees. What do you guys think that how the CSR activity will have the impact on the employees? Yes, you can connect it with the bar chart. If you have the data into the bar chart, you can connect it and say that the customer satisfaction is decreasing, but if you go to the go on to do these CSR activities, the customer satisfaction will increase and sorry, and the customer will be attracted to the PVS. Also, you can use these things as well into your answer. Here, in the exhibit number 1, the human resource director was saying that we could focus on the well-being of the staff and support staff health and well-being or support the local animal charities, right? So you can use these words. And also he's saying that we could visit schools to educate the children on how to look after their pets. So this will create a good brand image of PVS, right? Let me just include this thing into the answer. True visiting schools and educating. Okay, let me just make it a general paragraph, because these are the activities we are going to do and it will have the impact on the all stakeholders, right? So it is better that let me make it a general paragraph which would be used for all of them. Which one society point, Shoaib? Can you please explain it a bit more so that I can answer? I'm making it a general point, Shoaib. I am making it a general point that we are going to do these CSR activities and it will have the impact on the below of following stakeholders in the following manner. And then we will explain it. So now we don't need to worry about that which activity will have impact on which stakeholder in which way, right? Also visiting the schools, enhance the brand image of the PVS and will give you the competitive edge. So, is there anyone who has drafted point related to the employees? How it will have the impact on the employees? It is clearly mentioned in the exhibit. Okay, Hira. By implementing CSR process, employee satisfaction is increasing, and also PVS will work for staff well-being, which will reduce the staff turnover, and also more skilled, compatible staff wants to join PVS. Excellent, Hira. Excellent. So Hira took points from here. Number one point that employees are the research has shown that the employees look for and far more engaged and performing better for socially responsible business. Number one thing, it will increase their efficiency or the productivity. Implementing CSR can reduce the turnover by 35%, productivity by 13%. Sneha copy paste exhibit this thing. According to some research, employees look for far more. So what will happen? It will increase their efficiency, it will increase their motivation, and it will decrease or reduce the staff turnover by 35%, and it will also increase the productivity by 13%. And additionally, as Hira said, that those employees which are which value the CSR activities or the organization which are socially responsible or thinking about the environmental and social issues, they are attracted to these organizations. So we will be able to attract the expert and I would say the highly skilled employees which are currently not working for us, right? So you just need to make it a structured one. So we'll have the, let me just complete the general paragraph. We'll have the following impacts on the key stakeholders of PVS as explained below. So now I don't need to mention again and again that what we are going to do with for which stakeholders, because there are some stakeholders for them we are not doing anything directly, but still it will have the impact on them, like government, like bank, okay, like your suppliers, but it will have an impact on them as well. So as per the exhibit, that the employees. So now, Shoaib, you were asking about the linkage with the pre-scene information. See how I have linked it with the pre-scene information that the satisfaction index was declining since past years, right? So it will increase it, which is currently it is declining, right? Also, it will solve the staff turnover issue, and also it will increase the productivity. Further, it will help you attract those employees which values or support the CSR activities and such activities. Fine. So Sneha, see how you can draft a structured and complete answer. You have to start from the information in the exhibit, or the fact which you are thinking on. Based on which that point you are drafting the answer. The research shows that the employee look for and are more engaged and perform better for socially responsible organization. This is the fact. Now, hence implementing the CSR activities will lead to increase of staff efficiency, satisfaction, which is declining since past years. Also, it will resolve the staff turnover issue, and also it will increase the productivity. Further, it will help you attract those employees which values or support the CSR activities. So, are we good with it? Can we move forward? Hira, Sneha, Shoaib. Okay. So, what are the other stakeholders? What are the other stakeholders? We have customer done, employees done. Let us think about the suppliers. What we can do for the suppliers? Financial institution, we will think about it. Suppliers through CSR. It is a very general point. There is no such information related to the supplier. But what benefits do an organization look from the supplier? What benefits we are expecting from our suppliers? They give us bulk discounts. They support us long-term contracts. These kind of things. So by implementing the CSR activities, we would be able to attract the suppliers which can give us which values these activities, and they will in result in the exchange they will give us the discounts, favorable terms and condition, the long-term contracts, long-term partnership contract. This will again help us improving our profitability. Yes. So through CSR activities, PVS would be, guys, I need you to draft it as well. I will review your answer as well. Through CSR activities, PVS would be equal to. Good, Hira. Good point. So for society, who are included in the society? Who are included in the society? Society includes the trade union, VET, Ireland, VET union, general public, who owns the pet, right? These are the general public or society for us. Pooja is saying may attract those suppliers considers CSR aspect. This will also help them to buy discount long-term partnership with them. Good, Pooja. Good. So now you have to think from their perspective. If you are doing the CSR activities, okay, how it will have an impact on this and this. Now you need to draft it. I am drafting my answer and I will review yours then. Sorry, I missed the initial discussion how to think for society, as we already covered how CSR is beneficial to customers, supply and employees. See, Pooja, for the society aspect, there are two things. The Ireland Vet Union, okay. Number one thing is that the direct impact would be on the employees. And the number two impact is that it will have a impact on the relations with the union. As you know that this world works or operates on the relations. Sometimes you're doing something which is not correct or you do not deserve the favor, but still based on your relation you get the favor, right or not? So if you are having a good relationship with the union, don't you think that they will promote your company or they will direct more skilled staff or employees towards your company? Number one thing. And the number two thing is that the society does not only include your customers, society also includes the other people as well, right? So if you are doing the charities or donation things for the well-being of the pets, or you are educating the children in the school, don't you think that they would perceive you as a socially responsible or a good company, and they will do the word of mouth marketing of your company? Hmm? Yes. So by doing CSR, it will have a positive impact on this. Hira, the major thing missing in your answer is that uh, the betterment of society, you have to make it specific that the betterment of the uh, pet care industry or the healthcare of the pet and the employees, because we are operating in the industry of the pet healthcare. Hmm? So I've made it general. Otherwise, the point is good. All right. So now the next stakeholder we have regulators. Sneha is saying, no. Sneha, the point related to CCPS accreditation, don't you think it is not related to the union? It is related to the regulator of the industry. It is not related to the society. So society means the social. Hmm? Yes, 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 yes. So the regulator thing. So regulator means CCPS. So, why we make these kind of mistakes? We make these kind of mistake. The number one thing is that I'm asking you to draft it rapidly right now, and somehow, as we are not that much good at drafting, we somehow merge or mix things. So by the passage of time, by with the practice, you will get this thing how to keep points separated so that you do not mix it up. Lucas, if you are thinking about the generic society, then you have to explain as well that how it is beneficial for the generic society. I am fine with it. If you are, as far as you are drafting your answer, which is justified and it is supported, I am fine with it. So for the regulator thing, if you guys remember that the majority of the companies in the industry, they have the CCPS accreditation, okay, but only 5% of the companies have the higher level of CCPS accreditation. It was mentioned in the pre-scene, and the criteria was that how much the company care about their employees, staff, client, their pets, their healthcare. So if you are doing these kind of things, there are chances that you would get the accreditation, higher accreditation from the CCPS. And if you would get it, you will be included in the 5% of the society or the companies. Don't you think that it is a very, very big competitive advantage? Accreditation. Mhm. Also, you have to link the point related to your market share wherever it is possible. Okay, marketing tool and ultimately increase market share, because in requirement it is mentioned that you have to mention or connect every stakeholder with the market share wherever it is possible. Okay, so I'm trying to connect them as well. So here, for employees, I don't know if it is somehow mentioned or linked with it or not, but this will result in increase of market share. See here, I have mentioned it, market share thing. For supplier, there is no link with it, and here also market share thing. Regulator also we will give high competitive advantage and increase in reputation of the PVS, which will result in the. So have you drafted it? Let me see if anyone has drafted the answer and I can review it. No one. except for Sneha and Pooja, I guess, drafted it. Pooja drafted it. No, for regulator, no one drafted. For financial institution, also with regulator, I would like to mention the government aspect as well because it comes into regulator thing as well. What do you guys think that if I'm doing the CSR activities and the society is concerned about the CSR activities, here if I see, okay, the society is concerned about the CSR activities and well-being of the staff and the pets. Is there a chance that I would get some reduced taxation, government grants, or support from the government for doing this kind of work? Is there a chance? Okay. Yes, subsidies. So Sneha and Pooja, can you please draft this point for me that by doing these kind of thing, there is a chance that PVS will get these things? Good point, Hira, for the financial institution. But now, Hira, please draft the point for the government aspect as well. And do you remember that PVS used to win the awards in the past? But since last 6 years, PVS did not win any of the award. So is there a possibility that you would get the award by the government as well? And if you get the award, won't it increase your brand image or reputation and the customer will be attracted to you because you are now the awarded organization by the customer or the government? Hira is saying so it will help PSA increase market share and reputation. Good, Hira. Good point. Through CSR activities, PVS can get taxation benefits, support, subsidy from government, which can help PVS to serve better and to attain more rewards. This result in good reputation and brand image. Pooja, again, you mixed 2 point. You mixed 2 point. Please, Pooja, avoid this thing because in exam it will cause you the cost. Okay. The point is good, but again, these 2 points are mixy. How I have drafted 1 point and then changing the paragraph for another point and keeping the discussion separate from each other. Pooja, getting my point? Yes. Now you got my point, Pooja. There would be greater support from the government through subsidies, tax credit, and regulatory norms. Sneha, point is not complete. Why government would give you the subsidy, tax relief, and regulatory norms? You have to mention this thing. Why? The why thing is CSR activities. And why CSR activities are important to government? Because the increasing interest of the people in the well-being of the staff, and they are more concerned about the well-being or the healthcare of the pets. Also, this will help POS to get the chance to receive the government awards which it has not been able to receive in the past year. This would greatly increase the reputation, the brand image, and will result in the increase of the market share. So now, Sneha, you got it. What are the mistakes in the point? All right. So this is how I have drafted. Let me just read it out for you so that you can have idea. Also, since there has been increasing interest on how business treated its staff and more focus on the pet health care, there is a chance that government might announce tax credit or relief or subsidy for those companies which are looking after their employees and providing education related to pet health care. See how I am making my point complete. I am delivering every point to examiner and I'm telling him that why I'm saying this thing, what is the reason behind it, how I will get this thing. Everything is crystal clear and complete. So you have to focus on this thing. Furthermore, PVS has not won any award since last 6 years. So there is a chance that PVS will get award from the government. Why it will get the award? For its efforts in the CSR activities, and this will enhance your reputation and brand image and result in increase of market share by attracting customers. What do you guys think? Is it the good way of making the answer when your answer is complete, everything is explained, or is it good way of giving the vague answer or incomplete answer to examiner? And this is why most of the people fails, because in their mind they think that they have done a very good paper, but when examiner looks at it, it's incomplete, it's not proper discussion, right? So for the financial institution, again we would start that why bank would give us the loans or loans on the reduced rate or the subsidized rate, because if the banks, they are presenting themselves as they also care about the society or the well-being of the employees or the pet health care, if it is their objective as well and we are doing the same thing, they will support us. And also what they will do, they will market it on their website and their objective as well, that we are supporting those organizations who are doing the CSR activities and blah blah blah, so we are supporting them in this way. So for their marketing as well, it will be beneficial for them, right? So we will discuss it. I need you guys to draft this point for me as well, then I will review it. So has anyone drafted it, or I should read my one and we can move? Pooja, Sneha, Hira, are you guys with me? Because after this question we will have a break, don't worry, we will take a break of 10 minutes and then we will go towards the question number 3. Okay, anyways. Mhm. So I mistakenly pressed the Control V button. Pooja, you can also draft and then look at my answer. It will help you to, observe my drafting technique. So please draft. The CSR activities by PVS would attract the financial institution and support the causes. Hence, it will enable PSS to raise loans faster and easily at lower interest rate and better credit terms, which will support the faster implementation of the technological advancement and increase the revenue and market share. Good trip through CSR activities. Sneha is saying, good Sneha. Just include the point. Explain that how it will increase our market share. It will increase our market share that we will use the finance raised in improving our technology, in doing the research and development, so that we can come up with the new product offering or the services, and ultimately improve our performance, and this will help us increase our market share. Okay. So here it is. I guess we have drafted enough points or not. How many points we have drafted? We have drafting many good points. Like, although the headings are only 6, but there are multiple points into the heading, right? So it is more than enough for the 20 marks answer. We will just end it. Regards, external consultants. All right. So here it is, the end of our question number 2, part A. And do we have the question number 2, part B? Yes, we do have. So let's have a 10 minutes break. It's 8:20 right now in Pakistan, and we will be back at 8:30 in Pakistan. Sahi hai? Okay, Lucas is drafted also. Granted that there is high interest in CSR. Good, Lucas. Good point. Okay. So see you guys at 8:30, is it? Yes, 8:30 Pakistan time. And you don't need to worry about the time. We will try to cover as much as possible, and we will somehow extend the session as well. Okay, so welcome back after the break. Can you guys please confirm me through the chat that you are also with me or not? Because in break, obviously, you guys also go for having some water or refreshment or anything else. So are you guys with me? Hello, everyone. Okay, Sneha is there. Lucas, Shabnam is there. Lucas, Pooja. Okay, so everyone is there. All right. So in the break time, I was thinking that we have now the 30 minutes left for our session. And if I would extend the session like around 15 to 20 minutes, will you guys be there? or you guys will leave. Would it be possible for you to extend it, because obviously it's a 3 hours long class, and I do understand that it is a challenging thing to take this much long class. So what do you guys say? Are you willing to extend it to 15 to 20 minutes, so we will be able to at least discuss the question number 3, and then I will discuss it with you, and your task would be to draft it on your own and match it with my answer. Okay, but the discussion we will do. What do you guys say? How many would you say that we should extend it, or no, sir? We can do it in a later session or something, because I do not promise to have a later session on it, because on next weekend it will be a new paper. What do you guys say? Please, we have to do it quickly. Can we extend it? Vinsha, Sneha, Shabnam, let's complete today. Okay, okay. Pooja is saying, Sneha is saying yes, yes, yes. Shoaib, Lucas, everyone is saying we can extend it. All right, so we will extend it and we'll try to complete it. Because obviously, after 1 week, if you guys would come, you would not have all the information into your mind. So it's of no use of discussing the paper on the next weekend. I don't think it's a productive way. So, question number 2, part B: the strategies that are adopted following discussion at the next board meeting will be delivered as a project. So, do you guys remember? If you guys remember, or if those who were not there yesterday, in the board meeting they were discussing the strategies. So, whatever the strategies will be adopted in the board meeting, the next one, they will make a projects on it. Obviously, they will start the projects to implement it, the technological advancement or the CSR activity. These all will be the projects which will be pursued in the future. So they are saying that a junior human resource assistant has drafted a job description for a project manager who will be needed to support the projects. So as we all know, the project management is a very important topic of our SBL, and the question has been tested from this topic. And we all know that how the project has been project should be managed, what are the people, what are their responsibilities, and everything, the project initiation document, the project completion report, and everything. So here is only the project manager job description. That the area which is tested is the job description of the project manager. So you should have all the information related to the project manager job and the responsibility in your mind, so that you can answer this question. The HR director has asked you to review the draft job description. So here you would be asked to find out the mistakes. Obviously, prepare an email to HR director which critically evaluates. Critically evaluates means to find the mistakes into it. Project manager job description that the human resource assistant has drafted. Professional skill marks are available for demonstrating the skeptical skills. Obviously, skepticism is used when you are evaluating something or you are finding out the mistakes into it. That's what we do in the audit as well, right? So you have to critically evaluate it. You have to challenge the things which are mentioned here, and you have to say that it is correct or not, and why it is mentioned here, it is not appropriate, and blah blah blah. In questioning the aspect of the job description, presenting evidence to challenge it in a professional way. Again, you have to be very professional. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to come harsh that this is wrong, this is rubbish. Don't need to mention these kind of words. You have to be very professional, and you have to ask the question in a professional way that in my opinion this is not appropriate. Don't you think that it is not correct? The way I review your answer, you would not have seen me any time that I would have scolded you, or I would have said that it's wrong, or it's properly rubbish, or it's pathetic. It's these kind of things you have to avoid. So in this skepticism or critical evaluation as well, you have to follow the professionalism, and you have to also explain why you are disagreeing with anything. Okay, you have to give the evidence, like the rationale. So this is the 18 marks question. If I divide it by 2, it will give me 9 points. So I have to find 9 mistakes into the job description document in order to draft a good or score the full marks. Just confirm me that. Yes, thank you. Ha ha ha. Okay, Shabnam, thank you. I got your point. So please confirm me that you guys are clear with the requirement? Are you guys clear with the requirement? I need you to respond quickly, okay? These are not the things which should take time. Yes, perfect. Everyone is clear. So now, okay. Job description: project manager. Title, it's okay. Report to chief executive officer. This thing, job overview, I will only read and then we will discuss what are the issues. So I want you all to be very attentive and find out the issues. Job overview: you will be ultimately accountable to the PVS board for the delivery of the projects, and you will act as a point of contact between the board and the project team. Responsibilities: appoint the project sponsor, develop a detailed project plan, manage projects on day-to-day basis, manage cross-function project teams drawn from across PVS, carry out monitoring and control activities to ensure all projects are delivered on time and on budget. Identify and manage risk, create and maintain project documentation, skills and experience: you must be able to work on your own, meet deadlines, monitor and control budget, motivate others. Ideally, you will have 10-year experience in the pet vet industry, 5 years of project management experience. You will be expected to work unpaid overtime, including in the evening and on weekend. Mothers with young children should therefore not apply. We offer a competitive salary and benefits package. We particularly welcome application from the candidates who have held similar roles at our competitors and who are able to share details about the competitive advantage of our rivals. All right. So this is the project description of the project manager, right? So now, what do you guys think? What are the issues in it? Have you guys covered the project management topic? How many of you have covered? Pooja, Sneha, Shabnam, Vinsha, Shoaib, Lucas. Have you guys covered this topic? Project manager should report to project sponsor. Okay, Shabnam has not covered. Yes, I covered. Okay, okay, good. But still, Shabnam, you can come up with some general points. No, Vinsha is not. Yes, almost. Shoaib has covered. Okay, all right. So let me just assist you guys because most of the guys have not covered this. So the number one thing is that this is the hierarchy: board, then project sponsors. Who are project sponsors? Project sponsors are the people or the person who laid the project in front of board. He gets the project approved and then he reports to the board and everything. He is the person who is looking after the project. He is the person who is responsible for the project. Am I right or not, Pooja? Yes, right. And then under the project sponsor, there is a project manager. He is the person who works on the field. Obviously, because see, this is the board of director. For example, if the CSR thing is done, so who could be the possible project sponsor? The project sponsor, possible project sponsor could be human resource director. The possible project sponsor could be business development director, because these are the guys who are more active or more relevant to this project, right? For the project technological development, who could be the possible project sponsor? It could be the technology director. All right. So the project manager is the one who work on the field with the team. The director won't come on the field and work with the team, right? Yes. Exactly, Pooja. So the project manager, they are telling us that project manager should report to CEO. So this is not correct. Number one thing. Number two, he should not be accountable to board. The project sponsor is accountable to board because he went to the board to give the idea of the project, to get the project approved, to get the budget and everything. So don't you think that the board would be asking the question to that person, project sponsor, and not the project manager? Because they don't know the project manager. They would held accountable project sponsor because he was the one who went to them, gave the idea, got the project approved, budget approved, right? So this is again the issue. And also, he should not be the point of contact. So this is the second issue. The third issue is that, is it possible that, for example, there is an assistant manager and there is a manager, and in assistant manager is appointing the manager? Is it possible? Guys, what do you think? Is it possible that the person who is junior to the other person and he is appointing the senior person? No. Either yes, Pooja, project sponsor should uh, appoint the project manager and not the project manager appointing the project sponsor, right? The other thing is that in every project, the success thing is that when we talk about the project management, okay, so project management always deals with three things. It deals with number one, time, number two, budget, number three, quality. So the quality aspect is missing here. All right, this is the fourth issue. You are asking him to monitor and control the time and budget. What about the quality? Aren't we concerned about the quality thing? This is the issue. You must be able to work on your own. Why work on your own? You are carrying out the project. You should be able to work with the team. You have to collaborate with the team. Why you are asking him to work on his own? The experience is mentioned here. What about the qualification? Why the qualification is not mentioned in the job description? It is missing here. So the qualification should be the part of the project job description document. Why unpaid overtime? Is he your relative? Why he would do the overtime without being paid for the company? So this is something which will discourage or move away people who are talented, who are experienced, who are expert to carry out the successful project. Yes, no motivation to work. Even Shoaib, they will not come to us. They will just reject the offer from the very beginning because you are not giving them the overtime pay. The motivation in the work is it's on the second later stage. Here, why you are doing the discrimination that mothers with the young children should not come? You should also be writing that the father with the young children should not come. This is the clear discrimination thing. So the gender discrimination and other thing. Why you are asking them to leak the data of the previous employer? You are asking them to leak the data of the competitive advantage of your rival. Don't you think it is unethical? Don't you think it is an unethical thing? Legal cases, yes. So guys, against the career opportunities mentioned in the website. Yes. On the pre-scene, let me go and see. Where, Pooja? Best organization, choice, empower, highest level of service, family atmosphere, flexicum, market leading salary, generous staff discount, fair treatment. Yes, see, discrimination thing. Why we are doing it's against our policy. Fair treatment, fair pay, encourage diversity. So this is against our fair pay thing is correct. They have mentioned that you will get the market competitive salary. So it's perfect, Pooja. There is no issue in it. So are you guys clear with the issues there? Is there any other issue which you think is there, or flexible working hours? Yes, but is there written some? Yes, in the evening and weekends. Good. So you are asking them to work on the evening and the weekends, and on the other side you are saying that we are offering the flexible hour. Good point. So is there any issue in these issues identified into it? Do you guys have any confusion? Please tell me or we can move forward. Can you guys please do me a favor and at least respond to me on this thing quickly? Do we have any confusion? Shabnam, since you guys did not study this. That is why I was explaining it in too detail, and I'm asking that whether or not it is clear or not. Okay. All right. So now let's go and draft an email. Mhm. Give me the subject. Please give me the subject of the email. Vinsha, job description. Whose job description? My job description. Good shape. No puja. It's incomplete puja. Shabnam, good. Evaluation of the project manager, job design, and no, Lucas, not job design. Job description is correct. Evaluation of JD of PM Puja. Okay, good. But guys, I believe that you guys know this thing that using these short forms are allowed in the practice session. If you ask me, I would not allow these in the practice session, even in the practice session. But in exam, you are not allowed to write like this. Okay. Shoaib, you have written correctly. Evaluation of job product distribution drafted by, I do not remember who drafted it, sir. Huh? Drafted by, oh, okay. No. Sneha, I got your point. Drafted by junior human resource assistant. But please try to, keep the subject very precise and short. You don't need to make it junior job assistant or the HR assistant. Leave him. Don't need to go personal with him. Leave the bloody junior guy. Okay. So the introduction. From where we are going to start our introduction or copy our introduction thing. Introduction paragraph, from where it will come? It will come from requirement. Only Pooja is telling me the requirement thing every time, but why no one else? All right. So we have this email: critically evaluate the project manager job description that the human resource assistant has drafted. All right. So below are the issues or discrepancies in the draft job description which should be rectified. All right. Number one, critically evaluates means we have to write cons only, right? Pooja, see, critically evaluate means that you have to find out what is wrong. Hmm? And obviously, like, is there any sense that the human resource director would give you the job description and say, tell me what are the good things in it? Obviously, no. So the number one point was related to the reporting. And simply what we just discussed, I will be drafting this point and I need you guys to draft this thing as well in a very, very simple, very easy language, which we are discussing with each other, that what is the problem related to the reporting. So the reporting thing is there. Number one. No, I mean, yes, obviously. For example, I'm telling them that the project manager is supposed to, like in job description, project manager is required to report chief executive, which is not appropriate, right? Because usually the project manager reports to the project sponsor. So this is the recommendation from our side. So this is how you are going to cater it. Also, you can, I know what you are thinking, that do I have to specifically draft this thing that this change should be made, that the reporting should be done to the project sponsor. So directly or indirectly we are covering it. No, Sneha, you don't need to redraft it because they have only asked you to critically evaluate. So you have to just identify the mistake, and while telling them what is the mistake, you have to also tell them what is correct thing, so that you can justify your mistake. Okay, their mistake. Pooja, is it clear now? So guys, please draft it while I'm drafting my answer. All right, so I've drafted my one. I'm waiting for the day when Samuel will draft for me. Is it CFO? Pooja, it's CEO. Okay, now you have corrected. So it's correct. Yes, Pooja. It's correct. Your answer is correct. No issues. No issues. Anyone else? Sneha, Lucas, Shabnam, Vinsha. Shoaib is saying skepticism is, thinking, having the questioning mind that there can be some issue, there can be some mistake in it. So you are showing the skepticism skill as well here, right? Lucas, sorry to say, but we don't need to do anything fancy. So this point is accountability versus responsibility of the role need to be realigned to ensure adequate performance management. The project manager should not be accountable directly to board, but the project sponsor. So no, it's correct, but somehow, try to keep it simple. Point is correct. I'm not saying it's wrong. So this thing I have copied from the job description, that the project manager is held accountable to PVS board for the delivery of the project, and he will act as the point of contact between the board and the project team. So from here I will again copy and paste my thing. Copy, but usually but project sponsors present and gets the project approved and report to the board and or CEO. Therefore, the accountability of the project manager towards the board is inappropriate. Rather, it should be accountable to the project sponsor. All right. Has anyone else drafted something? All right. So the third issue. What was the third issue, guys? It was that the project sponsor would be appointed by the project manager. So as per the hierarchy, project manager is subordinate to the project sponsor. So this is not correct, or this is somehow irrational that the subordinate will appoint the reporting personality or the senior person, right? Good point, Pooja. Good point. Good point. All right. So the appointment of the project sponsor. Guys, can I have the drafted point for this thing? Appointment of the project sponsor. Please draft this point. See how I'm doing this? Guys, please stop for a while and see how I'm doing this. I always try to write the fact to start my answer. Always I try to do this thing. See, the project manager is required to appoint the project sponsor. In the draft job description, the project manager is held accountable. In the draft job description, project manager is required to report to CEO. Always I start my answer from the fact which is given in the question, which makes me think of the point, right? This point trigger me to write it in my answer, and then I explain it that what is wrong in it. Okay, so this is the drafting technique. Sneha, in hierarchy, the main people are the board of director, project sponsor, and then the project manager. And under the project manager, there are the project supervisors, managers, and the whole team. There's no more in the hierarchy thing. Okay. So the project manager is required to appoint the project sponsor as per the draft job description, which is not which is not appropriate. Again, see, I'm trying to maintain the professionalism. I was about to write is not correct, it is irrational, but I have to be professional. Appropriate as, why it is not appropriate? Explain this thing. As the project sponsor or the project manager is supposed to be the subordinate of the project manager. The correct approach would be that board of directors or board or that the board should appoint the project sponsor and not the project manager. All right, now Pooja, see how we are, while directly or indirectly, when we are explaining them that how the specific thing is the issue, we have to also tell them what is correct thing, right? Otherwise we cannot explain it properly. So somehow we are giving them the recommendation as well while explaining our point. Pooja, are you with me, or are you getting my point? Pooja is saying okay. Pooja, just add one more thing into your point, that where you have mentioned that the project manager may not be competent to appoint the sponsor. Explain it why he is not competent, because he is subordinate. Okay. Otherwise, the point is good. The draft resolution mentioned that the Shoaib is saying good. Shoaib, good. Okay. So the next issue, what was the issue number 4? Issue number 4. I need you guys to draft the issue number 4. We have already discussed it. Okay. Here it is the discussion of the point number 4. This is the discussion of the point number 4. The project management always deal with 3 things: time, budget, and the quality. And you have mentioned the time and budget. So please draft me this point. See again how I have started. Again, I have started from the fact that in responsibility section, it is only mentioned about monitoring and control of time and budget of the project. Again, I have started from the fact. Now I will explain that how it is wrong. Okay. Whereas, all right, guys, have you drafted this point? Excellent point, Lucas. Excellent point. Good point, Shoaib. Good Sneha. Good Sneha. Good everyone. So now let's come to the point. Another point. Work on your own. Work on your own thing. Have you ever heard that any project is done by a single person? It's not possible. Project is always carried out by the team, and project manager is the head of the team. Not possible. Yes. So now draft this thing. Yes, Neha. Good. Okay, so the other next point is, what should be the next point? The next point is about the qualification. So the qualification is not mentioned here. Okay, so you have to make a point on it that the qualification is not mentioned here, and the relevant qualification must be mentioned so that only those professionals who are relevant, who has the relevant qualification, should apply for the job. Don't you think? If you would not mention the qualification, anyone anyone who has done anything or just have the experience would come and apply for the job, right? So please draft this for me. In meantime, I am drafting the other points. Shabnam, Pooja, you have not drafted this point. Vinsha. All right, so guys, have you drafted the other point of the qualification? Are you with me? All right, so the qualification point, the job description mentioned the required relevant experience but does not mention the required relevant qualification, which is a major omission, as required qualification criteria must be mentioned in order to attract the relevant competent professional apply for the job only, right? Let me just mention this only here. To attract only relevant, to attract the only the relevant and competent resources. Okay. So point number 8, the overtime, unpaid overtime point. Let's see. Sneha has drafted it. The JD mentioned that there won't be any payment for overtime. This is one of the major drawbacks that is against the PVS policy. It is highly demotivate the employees to even apply for the job. Good. Even highly skilled employees would reject the JD. No, not JD. The job proposal. Okay. Thus, it is required to change in the JD. Okay. Okay. Good point, Sneha. Point number 8. Point number 8. First, let us read the point which I have drafted. It is mentioned that the project manager is required to work unpaid overtime. How would this be possible to attract the person having the relevant expertise and experience to work for the unpaid overtime, right? We are raising a question. And also it is against the career opportunities, that is fair pay values of the PVS. Therefore, the overtime compensation policy should be mentioned in job description. All right. Fair. All right. So the point number 8, we have already marked it here about the discrimination thing, right? So let us draft the point related to the discrimination, gender discrimination in job description. Again, I'm starting from the mothers with the young children should not apply. This is serious gender discrimination, right? And is against the values of the PVS. Hence, this should be corrected in the job description. All right. So the last point, point number 9, we are going to draft is about the unethical stance or unethical requirement of sharing the data of the rivals through which they were having the competitive advantage, right? Let me draft this point for you guys. Sharing of rivals data. The job description requires the project manager to share the let me look for the words from the exhibit. Share the details about the competitive advantage of our rival. So I will draft it like this: to share the details about the competitive advantage of their previous employer. This is unethical, and also is it against our policy of there is nothing like the fair competition or something like this. Honesty, transparent and open standard, what we believe, first class innovation. Okay, all right. So this is unethical and also ethical, and will lead to the legal suits against the PVS if the rivals would come to know about this. All right. So this is how we have drafted our 9 points. And let us just put the closing remarks, the regards, external consultants. All right. So guys, this is our answer. If there is any confusion or you need to ask anything, please let me know, or we can move to the next question. Sneha, Vinsha, Shabnam, Pooja, Shoaib, Lucas. Is it clear, the drafting thing? Or do we have any question related to it? Gender discrimination, Pooja, Sneha is drafted. Yes. Good point, Pooja. Sneha, good point. But just negative impact on the society. If you are writing it, you have to explain this thing, right? So we have shown skepticism sufficiently. Are you asking this thing? See, skepticism skill is always having a questioning mind, and questioning mind, you are asking me to adopt the tone of questioning, that is it appropriate or is it not appropriate, like this. For example, in draft job description, the project manager is required to report the CEO, which seems inappropriate. So this thing seems inappropriate. This is a skepticism that I'm saying that it could be wrong, right? So we have expressed the skepticism here as well. And also, see here, but the project sponsor present and gets the project approved and not on the project to the board or CEO. Therefore, the accountability of the project manager towards the board is inappropriate. Rather, it should be. So when we are saying that it is inappropriate, this shows that first we showed the skepticism and we challenge the thing that it is not correct. Okay, Shweb? Yes, Pooja. Yes, good point. But also, but this is a very short point. You have to make it a proper, right? So now, what do you guys say? Because from your participation, I'm having a feeling that you guys are now a bit tired and also exhausted. Should we start question number 3, or would it be okay that if I would provide you guys with the recording of the question number 3? Recording. Recording. One more recording and we will go for the recording, huh? Let's see. Lucas has, pulled the trigger. Okay, recording is fine. So how about, what is the time now? It's already late. Yes, it's already late. So let us call off the session here, and I will provide you the recording for the question number 3. But you have to make sure that you will watch it and draft this whole attempt by your own, because see, on chat you are drafting, I'm reviewing this, but you have to draft it on your own and see if you are making the necessary changes which I am suggesting you in your drafting technique, and you are able to adopt the drafting techniques which I am telling you, right? And this will let you know that what are the areas which you need to focus on, where you are improving and where you need to put more efforts. Okay, so so now let's move forward towards the question number 3. Okay, so in question number 3 is that the chief executive officer, CFO, has received an internal audit report on the credit control department. The credit control function is centralized and the department is based in PVS head office. The CFO has asked you for your assistance in preparing a report. Okay, so basically CFO also mentioned this in the board meeting as well, that I have received a internal audit report on the credit control department, and that internal audit report has some control deficiencies identified, right? So CFO is now asking you to assist him in preparing a report. What kind of report? Prepare a report, and we know that how much important the format of the answer is for our professional marks, which number one assesses the implication of each of the internal control weakness identified in the credit control department. So we don't need to identify the any of the control weakness. Okay, they are already being identified in the internal audit report and they are presented to us. So what we have to do, we have to assess the implication. We have to assess that what will be the implication, like if the control weakness is identified, how it will have the impact on our business, how it will create a problem for us, for our business growth, revenues, profit, customers, anything. And the other thing is that recommends appropriate control to mitigate these weaknesses. Okay, so overall we are given 20 marks, and along with the professional skills mark, which are available for demonstrating analysis skills, because we have to assess the implications. in considering the findings of the internal audit report, reflecting their implication and recommending the control to mitigate the weaknesses. Okay, so 4 marks for the professional skills. So total it is 24 marks divided by 2, it will give us 12 points. So 12.6 for the implications and 6 for the recommendation. So this is how we are going to cover our 24 marks with the 12 points, right? So let's move forward and read the exhibit number 4, which was provided for the internal audit report. Okay, so down here we have the internal audit report. Let's start and read it. That internal audit report introduction. This report was requested following following client complaints about communication received from the credit control department staff during the period January to April 2004. So basically what has happened, that the client has complained to us about the communication from the credit control department staff. Okay, and based on those complaints we have conducted an internal audit, and based on that audit we have come to know about the this report, which has given us the results of the internal audit on the credit control department. Objective. What was the objective of the report? The credit control department is responsible for administrating PVS healthcare plans. Basically the healthcare plans which we offer to our customers. Okay, the credit control department is basically responsible for administrating them. The purpose of review was to assess the effectiveness of the control within the credit control department. Okay, the credit control department should ensure a balance between receiving client payment in a timely manner and keeping clients satisfied. So the credit control department has a duty that they should not be too much aggressive in recovering the amount that they dissatisfied the client, and they should not be so much lenient with the client that they do not recover the money of the company. So they have to somehow maintain a balance between recovering the money from the client and satisfying the client as well. So there might be the scene that the credit control department would have been so aggressive or maybe a bit unethical with the client for the recovery of the amount, right? So that is why the client would have made a complaint to us. Let's move forward toward the main findings. In main findings we have the documented credit control procedures have not been updated for 5 years, and there is no formal timetable for invoicing, sending reminders for amount due, chasing unpaid amount, passing overdue debts onto outside agencies for collection, or taking illegal action. These steps are taken on an irregular basis following ad hoc reviews by the credit control department manager. So the conclusion of this paragraph or the finding is that the credit control department has nothing formally documented, nothing has been done formally with the predefined timeline. There is no job description, there is no responsibility to anyone, right? Then when the number one thing, that the invoice would be issued, when the reminders would be sent, when we will chase the unpaid amounts, and when we will do some action for the overdue amounts, like we are going to sell the receivable to outside agencies to recover them, or we are going to pursue a legal action or legal proceedings to the customers who are not paying our debt. So there is nothing formally documented, no formal procedure or the timeline for these all procedures. The credit control department is doing all these things based on its own convenience, and the review has been done by the department manager on a very ad hoc basis. Ad hoc means the irregular basis. So this is the issue, and what we need to identify, the implication, that what implication could be on part of the business, that what the disadvantages or what harm there would be to the business if this would continue, and how we can mitigate this thing. Client details held on the PVS servers, including sensitive financial information, are not protected. All staff can access the information once they have logged on to the PVS system. So they are telling us that the client details, including the financial sensitive financial information, are not protected, and all staff can access this. Right? The person who has no relation to the finance team or the receivable team, maybe it's the person from the HR team. Why the hell this HR boy or the HR girl has the right to access this information? What the point of that person of accessing the information? There is nothing which is useful in this information for these person. Right? There is nothing useful for the fixed asset register person. There is nothing useful in it in the treasury department boy. So why the irrelevant people are accessing to the client sensitive information? Moving forward, staff turnover in the credit control department is high. Temporary staff recruited to provide short-term support have been given insufficient training. They are setting up new clients on the plan incorrectly and making mistake in invoices they produce. They are setting up new clients on the plan incorrectly and also making the invoices incorrect, making the mistakes in the invoices they issue. Obviously, because they are not trained. Permanent staff are having to deal with angry clients, rectify the mistake made, and work extra hour to clear the ongoing backlog of the work. So there is the issue that the staff turnover is high and short-term employment has been done without the insufficient training, and they are selling the plans to the client with the incorrect information, and also they are making mistakes in making the invoices, and due to which the clients are angry, and the permanent staff has to face all this all the music. Moving forward, our plans provide vaccination and routine treatment for a monthly fee and enable client to defer the cost of expensive treatment. To join the plan, clients complete a form with their personal and bank account detail and immediately becomes member. Okay, they are not provided with any plan documentation. Some of the terms of the plan were amended earlier this year to improve PVS cash flow. For the member joining after 1st March 2004, payment for expensive treatment and procedures can only be deferred for 1 month rather than 3 as was previously the case. But the clinic reception staff could continue to inform the client signing up to the plan that the payment can be deferred for 3 months as the changes have not been communicated to the reception staff. So if I would conclude this paragraph that there is a case that the expensive and costly treatment or the vaccination, your client can option that he or she will be paying the amount or the fees of the treatment or the vaccination in 3 months later the after the treatment. But and the other thing is that the client is not provided any details of the plan. Okay. Now, due to some cash flow issues, PVS has made few changes in its plan. And what are the changes? Changes is that the previously client can pay in 3 later months. Okay, 3 installments. But now client has to pay the fee of the treatment or the vaccination in 1 month. But the receptionist is not aware of the thing because it was not communicated to the receptionist. That is why the receptionist is communicating to the clients still that the payment can be made in 3 months. So this is the issue. Let me highlight few points for our notice that the alright. So the last point, plan member who have not kept up their monthly direct debit payment or have not paid invoices by the payment deadline continue to be offered deferred payment for further invoices by reception staff. So those clients which are not giving you or not clearing the previous invoices, we are offering the credit terms or the deferred payment plans to these clients again and again and again. This is some sort of stupidity that the person is not giving you the amount. It is making you pay, making you take the bettered loss, and still you are giving them the plan. The policy should be that The client which has the overdue balance, that client should not be given the for any further deferred payment plan. Rather, it should be given the on cash payment, or I would say the real time payment option, that if you need any further treatment of the vaccination, you make the complete full amount payment right now and have the treatment. But first you have to clear the last deferred payment so that you can have the next deferred payment plan. Otherwise, no more deferred payment plan for you. Till then, pay in cash right now. Okay. So the audit opinion is that the control departments are not effective. So this was basically the findings of the internal audit report, and now we have to find out the implication on our business, that how it will be affecting our business, what the problem we will be facing due to it. And we have to also provide the recommendation. For the recommendation thing, I am very sure that we are now pro in it, that whatever there is not happening, we will be saying it should happen, right? So we just need to know how we are going to draft it. So I'm giving you like 15 minutes, or you can say 20 minutes, draft the answer, and then we will discuss it with you and we will see what we are up with the answer. So time starts now. Okay, so now I believe that you all have drafted the answer, and now let's move forward and have a discussion that what the answer should be, and let's see if you have any significant difference, then you can discuss them with me. So for the finding number one, see, I have drawn the format here for you, that we are required to draft a report to the CFO from external consultant. Subject is internal control weakness, and you can also write that, and mitigation. So the mitigation action as well, and the date thing, and moving forward the introduction, and we are now pro in it, that how we are going to write the introduction. Introduction is a very simple thing, that this report assess, that is also coming from the requirement, that this report, because we are asked to write the report, assess because we were asked to do the assessment, right? And from here to here, it is all from the requirement. We will copy and paste it from the requirement. So done with the introduction part. Now you are required to write the weakness or the limitation and the recommendations. So number one. Now let's move up and see what we had for the finding number one. So the finding number one was saying that the internal control procedure have not been updated since last 5 years. So this is the issue, that if they are not updated and there is no formal timetable for invoicing and reminders, chasing the undue customers, and selling the long outstanding receivable, and doing any legal proceeding for to recover these receivables. So what will happen? It will happen that number one thing, that the credit control department cannot perform its duties properly because there are no formal policies and procedures. Number two, the recovery of the debt will not be in an efficient manner, because if you are not timely invoicing, the due date will not come on the time, right? And if the due date is delaying, so your cash flow issues are increasing, because you will get the cash flow later. And number two thing is that if you are not chasing the customer to pay the amount, you are not sending the reminders to them, right? So you will not be recovering the amount at that time, and this will ultimately have you the cash flow or the working capital issues, right? And due to which the company have to bear the working capital cost, which is obviously significant in these kind of businesses where you are providing customers the option to pay in the installment or the 3 months, right? So these will be the issues. And the other thing is that these steps are also reviewed on the irregular basis and following the ad hoc reviews by the credit control department. So this will ultimately lead to the losses, bad debts, and the delayed payment and the working capital issues and the working capital cost to the company. So now let's draft this answer. Okay, so now see how simply I have drafted the answer, that I have copied and pasted the point number 1 here, that the credit control department has no procedure, and no procedure has not been updated since 5 years. There is no timetable for invoicing, chasing, reminder, and everything, right? And after that, I have just simply mentioned the fact that we just discussed, that it will result in department not being able to perform its role properly because responsibilities and duties are not properly defined and formally documented. Obviously, when these are not properly defined and documented, no one knows who should do what work, right? And ultimately, what will happen? Ultimately, it will result in the bad debt, late recoveries, working capital issues, and increased working capital cost. Okay, so these are the implications on our business. Very simple, very straight. What is the recommendation from your side? The recommendation is that that simple thing is that these policies and procedures should be updated immediately. Number two, the formal policies, procedure, roles, and responsibilities, and the timetable for each thing should be documented. Right. So I am drafting this thing. So now, in a very simple wording, I have written that it should be the policies and procedure should be updated immediately. And the other thing is that the formal policies, procedure, and responsibilities and roles should be documented formally, and it should be circulated as well. You are not supposed to only update them and keep it to yourself. Circulate it to all the relevant members or the staff of the credit control department, and it should be circulated and implemented from the immediate day, right? That is not that we are either just making them and keeping to us, or we are circulating but not implementing. We should make the policies and procedure, circulate them immediately, and also start implementing on them as well, right? So this is how you are going to give the implication, and after the implication you are going to just simply what is not happening, and you have to tell that it should be happening, right? Let's move forward towards the number two point. The number 2 point is the client details held on the PVS servers, including sensitive financial information, are not protected. So what can happen? The issue is that these are not protected. They can be, a cyber security attack or cyber security theft or hacking. These kind of things or the viruses could attract them, and these data could be, misused by any of the person outside the environment organization. And the other thing is that all the staff can have the access to it. So why they are accessing it? The two issues are there. That the one is that there can be changes made to the data, that is sensitive information, and any change, even a minor one, would have a significant impact. So there can be changes made to the data, or the data could be misused by the internal or the external people who in a very harmful manner to the client. And ultimately, what will happen? It will happen that we will be facing the legal proceedings from the customer or the client whose data has been breached for the confidentiality, whose data has been misused, and we will be facing the fines, penalties, losses, and the legal proceedings. So this is what we are going to document in our answer. Okay, so again, in a very straightforward wording, I have mentioned here. Again, the first thing, we have copied it from the exhibit, the finding, and now we are telling the implication that this could lead to the data theft, hacking, data breaches from outside organization. Also, since all the staff, even those which are irrelevant, can access the data, therefore there can be any unauthorized changes to the data or even the misuse of the sensitive financial data of the customer. Okay, so this could happen, and ultimately if it would happen, what will be the result? The result would be these all can happen. The trust would be loss of trust, right? The customer's trust which it has placed in us by sharing the confidential data, and if any of the above thing could happen, the trust of the customer would be lost, right? So I don't know why it's happening. Let me just wait so that it become, yes, now it seems normal. No, it is not yet. Is it? Yes, now it is normal. We can face the fines, loss of our reputation, losses, maybe our license could be seized. We can face the penalties, we can face the legal cases and the legal proceedings and all the costs and efforts in facing those legal proceedings, right? What should we do? It's a very simple thing. The customer data is not protected, we should protect it. How we can protect it? You can place up proper security, cyber security checks, firewall, antiviruses, strong passwords, right? And there should not be access to everyone. There should be access to only authorized person, and these authorized person should have the user ID and the password which only they should know. And these passwords should be regularly updated. Very easy. So this is you are going to mention. If it is not protected, protect it. How? And okay, so these all things I have mentioned here. So now let's move forward towards the second finding. See, I would say, except for the part A or the requirement number one, A and B, these were a bit lengthy. But rest of the paper, I have been noticing that it has been very easy. So it is just that you have to get involved in the scenario, and then you have to you should know that which requirement has been the which requirement is referred to which exhibit, and then you can extract the information and draft your answer. So now the third point is that the staff turnover is very high, and due to which short-term employees there has been no training in it, and they are selling the incorrect plans, making mistakes in the invoices, due to which the clients are angry, and to correct this, the permanent employee has to face the client anger as well, and they are working late nights just to rectify these errors. What could happen here? Again, so very easy. Now I want you to draft this, and I believe maybe you have drafted it because I gave you sufficient time for it. So now let me just mention in a very brief way. So the implication of this internal audit report finding is that due to this, we are number one, we are selling customer incorrect plans, okay, and we are making mistake in the invoices. So due to this, our customer will be dissatisfied with us. We might lose our revenue because if we under invoice, okay, and due to the incorrect selling of the plans, we will have issues in the future, and client will get dissatisfied. So you will write this thing here: loss of revenue, losing our clients, okay. What can happen? What other thing could happen? The other thing could happen is that the since we are, these all are the things which are done by the temporary staff, so the permanent staff has to face the anger of the client and have to work late hours. So either you have to pay them the overtime, it will increase your cost which you were saving by not providing the training to the newcomers, right? So ultimately the cost is incurring and you are facing the losses. So there is a chance that the permanent employee will also leave us. So, all right. So these are the things which could happen. So how we can mitigate it? The simple way to mitigate is either do not appoint the short-term employees. Then, sir, how we are going to bridge the gap or the requirement of the employees which we are having? So you have to somehow motivate your employees. You have to do the CSR activities so that your staff turnover ratio decreases and the efficiency increases. And also you have to, once you will not be hiring the short-term employees, there will be no mistakes and the error. And if there is no mistakes and error, the permanent employee has to work late hours to rectify the mistake, or has to face the angry customers, right? So this issue can be resolved like this. So this is the thing that the short-term employees. So this is what we have drafted in a very simpler and easier wording. What we have just discussed. So what has not happening, we will say do it, and you will have the mitigating factor. Now, moving forward towards the fourth point. The issue in the fourth point is that the company has made a changes to its plan from the 1st March 2020 20x4, that the company will not be giving the 3 months plan now, it will be giving only 1 month plan. But the receptionist does not know about this. So the thing is that if the receptionist does not know about it, it will communicate the customers or the clients about the previous or old program or the plans, right? And due to which, what will happen, the client will, when the client will come to know that the program is not for the 3 months and it is for 1 month, there would be a lot of fighting and the chaos with the clients, and maybe they would disagree to pay it in 1 month, or if they are paying it in 1 month, they would be dissatisfied and they would not take the services from you in the future. So ultimately, you could lose your revenues and the profits. So this would be the implication of this point on your company. And what could be the mitigating factor? Mitigating factor could be that you should you should communicate the plans update to the receptionist properly, and there should be a documentation that acknowledgement from the receptionist that she or he has received the update about the plans. And forms, they should also be updated as per the new plans, and the customer should also be shared the plan copy, so that customer should know from the day one that what is the plan, so that in future there is no issue like this, that the customer is in a mindset that the plan is for 3 months and we are of the mindset that the plan is for 1 month. So there should be no inconsistency or misunderstanding, right? And for the last point, that we have plan member who have not kept up their monthly direct debit payment or have not paid invoices for the by the payment deadline continue to be offered deferred payment for the further invoices of the reception staff. So the thing is that those clients or the customer which have not cleared their invoices up till now, they are still offered the deferred payment plan for the next or the subsequent services. This should not happen, as we discussed earlier. So you should, because if it will happen, the number one thing, you are not getting your previous debt. There are high chances that you will not get the subsequent invoices as well, the payment for the subsequent invoices. So this will ultimately result in the loss of the revenue and the efforts in chasing them and recovering them, and then legal proceedings and all of this. So the pattern is that you should train the receptionist staff to have the recovery, have the list of the client who has the overdue balances, and those clients which have the overdue balances, they should not be offered the um, plans or the deferred payment option, right? So these 2 points, I'm leaving it for you. You should draft it and send it to me, and I will see if they are correct or not. And you can also follow the same strategy what I have been following here. Copy and paste the issue from the exhibit, and then tell us the implication, that what is the implication, how it is affecting the business, and then ultimately you can say that this should be the mitigating factor as discussed in the class. So I hope that I have been able to explain the whole paper with you, and we have been able to know how to draft the answer, and this will ultimately help us in the upcoming attempt. So best of luck to you all, and keep the practicing and keep it up the good work which you are doing by doing a lot of practice, and best of luck. See you in the next lecture. Till then, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.